Well, there we go. Well, howdy, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review for the final ever transfer show of the 2023 summer window, which slams shut, of course, on Friday. We will have a transfer deadline show. We go live from around 6 o'clock on Friday evening. So get ready for that one, and we'll take it all the way through to the window closing at, I believe it's 11 o'clock. Will Newcastle United be involved? That's the question that everybody is asking at the minute, of course, with the news that Sven Botman, Newcastle saying he's out for a few weeks. Now, we've just been talking before we came on air about Newcastle and saying that a few weeks is the injury. Isak was a few weeks. Willock was a few weeks, etc., etc. Sometimes our few weeks don't calculate into that. They actually calculate into a month or so. But let's hope he doesn't suffer any setbacks or anything like that, and he only misses possibly just the one game they're talking about, which is, of course, the Brighton game before the international break kicks in. Massive congratulations to Elliot Anderson for making the Scotland squad. And Matt Targett is apparently going nowhere. If you watch the earlier Daily News show, I think it was Nottingham Forest and Fulham showed an interest in Matty Targett, but Newcastle have put a dampener on that straight away. Are you surprised, Billy, that he wants to keep Targett?
Not really. Given that Dan Burn's likely to be playing centre half the next few games, which leaves Targett and Young Hall as our only two left back options, really. If we disregarding Paul Dummett, which I think we can. I think the timing's all wrong for Targett.
Yeah, he's kind of in limbo, isn't he, at the minute? He just doesn't know where he's at. By the way, I saw a few comments in the chat just while the intro was going through there. So people sort of humming the intro and getting a drink ready for the show. That shows dedication, and that's a proper fan, that is, humming the intro. However, we are looking to change the intro because if you notice, we've still got the old number 4 shirt on the intro. And I've been trying to get in touch with people to see if they can change that to the new one rather than having to do a brand new intro and stuff like that. But it seems like because the original file has disappeared after a few years, because that's been the intro for a long time now. I managed to get it changed once, twice. Isn't looking good, so we may have to do the intro again. So let me know if you're interested. Susan's sort of got part of one, but we're working on a new intro. So the countdown will stay because I think the countdown, it gets people going. That music. We've got lots of comments. Mr. Reaction says, no, Paul, I love the intro, man. We'll try and keep the music. I think it is kind of the Toon Review music, that. So we do want to try and keep the music as well. So, Tom, we won't change the Keep on Rising theme, though. Definitely not. I think it gives people a bit of boof when the show starts, just while we're getting things ready in the backstage while it's counting down. If you do enjoy tonight's show, guys, as usual, please do hit the thumbs up. Keep us up there in the YouTube algorithms. And, of course, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, as well as the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload any videos. It is completely free. You can donate to the channel, as usual tonight, guys, by hitting the $ at the bottom of the live comments. And, of course, that will get your comment read straight away as well. So there's added perks to doing that. And why not become a member, if you're not already, of the Toon Review, in with some great chances of winning some fab prizes and perks. Hit the join button, which is just underneath our 3 ugly mugs. Right. So, is it mainly based on centre-backs tonight, Alex?
Yeah, I was going to throw in a couple that we've reviewed before. It's not going to be anything too crazy today. It's just going to be the best way to phrase it, really, is just centre halves. There's a few wingers smattered about that we might be able to look at. Again, when we do the deadline day show, we can obviously have a look at everybody, maybe even a lot of players that we've linked within the window, just for a bit of fun. However, I think with the whole Botman injury, it was largely considered that centre half was somewhere we were looking at improving on, maybe a right-sided centre half that was either younger or more athletic or both than Fabian Schär. But now it might seem like it might be a bit more important to go out and buy, just in case, because this is what I mentioned even 5 or 6 weeks ago. If Botman or Fabian Schär go bang and we get a 9-month injury, this is going to be a really long season. It's going to be difficult defensively. So
It is a worry.
it's possible that we get one in.
Brandon says, I can't wait for the Champions League draw Thursday. Well, you can watch it with Alex and Billy live on Thursday. They start the show at 5 p.m. That will also integrate a match preview for the Brighton game as well. So they're doing a double header straight off the back, all in one show. So it's going to be a cracker. Who used to say that, Billy?
Frank Carson.
Frank Carson, that's him. So
not to be confused with Scott Carson for our younger viewers.
Indeed.
Well, they're both as good at goalkeeping as each other.
Well, I say younger viewers. Scott Carson is ancient now, isn't he? So.
Yeah, he is. He's 105. So they will be live from 5 p.m. And don't forget, from 6 p.m. on Friday, we will be bringing you the Deadline Day show, which will take you all the way up to 11 o'clock. So we are going for quite a few hours on Friday. That will be, again, a charity show for our two special charities, the British Heart Foundation and Parkinson's UK. So hopefully we'll raise a bit of money for them in the meantime as we go through the show. Tom says, keep on rising is synonymous with the takeover. Hearing that in the days and weeks after, goosebumps. Yeah, I still hear that and I think, wow, because I think, Billy, we played it. Did we not play it on the show the night before the takeover? We did a sort of countdown, and I'm sure that was the music we played.
I think you heard it at Wolves the game before the takeover.
Yeah,
as well.
I did. Yeah.
And that's where you got
it
from.
At Wolves and heard it at Wolves, and then sort of Susan managed to do a little bit of mishmash on it, and it turned out really well. So it avoids copyright and everything. So it's nicely done. I can't play the back end of it because it kicks into the proper music, and that's when you get the copyright. Toon Dave, who's been a member for 19 months. Toon Dave, thank you very much. Incredible stuff. He says, hey, all, as it's a transfer show, do we have a look at Slab Heat stats? Has he played enough minutes? Well, I mean, Alex is grinning there. I really don't know.
I don't know if I want to type Harry Maguire into anything on my computer.
I mean, look, I put it out there in the Daily News show earlier on today because we are linked in a few different sources with bringing him in on loan. Would it be that bad bringing Harry Maguire in as a
It's not going to happen. Let's go back 18 months, January 2022, when we tried to get Jesse Lingard on loan from them. They wanted ridiculous amounts of money just for a player that was out of contract. Maguire's in contract. Never going to happen.
Good point, actually. And Julie J makes the same point. Man United would never loan a player to us.
Even if they would, he doesn't fit us stylistically anyway. We're just basically getting another Lascelles. He's got similar attributes.
Yeah,
he's a leader. He's a fighter. He's good at blocks, clearances. If you dig deep, he's great. That's not how we play football anymore. And it's not what we need. And he's not able to play that sort of more offensive way with the higher line.
We play with.
No, I don't think he can.
Yeah,
no, definitely not.
Captain Fish says, guys, do you think we should go and try a loan move for Tapsoda from Leverkusen?
Mate, they're not going to loan him to us. They're not going to loan Tapsoda.
He is awesome.
Bayer Leverkusen at the moment have just beaten Bayern Munich recently, and they look like they are ready for a title challenge. Like, they sold Diaby and replaced him with Hoffman. Fleur and Wirtz is ridiculous. Like, all of them are ridiculous. Xhaka has gone in and looks decent. They are ready for to try and take on the Bundesliga, I think. I think that's the plan, I think, this season. But Leverkusen are a really good side.
I think Nathan Teller's a good signing for him as well. I think Nathan Teller's
he is very, very good signing.
Tapsoba's 24, and they're about to try a title push with Xabi Alonso as the boss. And if we go, oh, can we loan him? They're going to tell us to jog on. Like, if we want him, we're going to have to pay all of the doulars. Like, he's not just going to come on loan.
I don't know if you've noticed the shirt I've got on tonight, but Leverkusen. There was one guy about an hour before we came on air. I was looking through X or Twitter. What do you still? I call it Twitter. I'm sorry, but I can't get used to calling it X. There was another centre half who somebody said we might be interested in. I can't remember his name now. I meant to write it down, but I unfortunately forgot. Dan Kane, good afternoon to you over there in the States. Big friend of the show is Dan. Hope you're well, buddy. Alex, I know you said we may lose more this year and still have more points. If we drew all three of our matches, people would think we started strong. With the same 3 points, I think we should have perspective.
I completely agree. This is a big factor that we drew so many games last year. We could actually have way more losses and finish on higher points. I think we possibly, it's very possible we will do that. Because I think all of these little 1-1 scraggly draws to Palace and Bournemouth, I think we're good enough to thump them this year. If we can't beat some of the bigger teams yet, fine. All right, we'll get there. We will get there.
We will.
We can still finish on more points and lose more games. It's definitely possible.
Look, the dust has settled on Liverpool now. I think we need to turn to Brighton. Just for, we move on. We move on, and we become stronger for it. KB, good evening in Belfast. Hope you're well, buddy. Alex says, have a great few days away, Paul and the family. You hope it's more successful than your last break. So do I. Your friends at the safari park are looking forward to seeing you again. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing me mate the giraffe. I haven't seen him for a year. So hopefully I get a nice big sloppy kiss and not get bitten off one of the little Bambi motherfuckers this time. So, I try and avoid that. But I'm sure Susan will have a camera out ready to record everything that happens and try and embarrass me in every possible way. That will happen. But there you go. Matty says, Man United have now said Slabhead is staying. Well, yeah, because Varane's injured, so that might put a stop to Maguire going anywhere. Tom Lynch says, Pukey Lukey reckons we've got no money to bring anyone else in. Well, Pukey Lukey also said we only had £75 million to spend in the summer. He was wrong.
If we did we have got no money left to spend.
Yeah. Akazaka says, Miggy called Northumbrian police because he's looking for his right foot. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Kian says, good evening, lads. Question, why did trips change with Fabian Schär during the Liverpool game? It was weird to watch. I thought it was a good idea.
Passing angles, more involvement.
10-man playing against 10-man drill, I think. A lot was to do with it.
Tom's wanting to do a watch-along for the Carabao Cup draw tomorrow. I think
I'm at work, mate.
It's a night off, guys. I know the draw's not at 10 o'clock at night. After one of the live games tomorrow night. I think it's about 10
is it really
o'clock.
late, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't see the point of a third-round Carabao Cup draw. Maybe it's further down the line.
Who's left in it? Do we know? Is there anybody interesting? What sort of teams have we got in there?
Well, all the big teams are left that are in Europe because obviously they get a pass, don't they? But there's still some that tonight and tomorrow night they're playing.
Because obviously we could get something interesting for travelling if it's away.
Well, we can't get Sunderland.
Who's in
I'm
it? That's
surprised there's no title on Sky, actually. Unless BT have got this year, have they? I don't know.
What's that?
There's no Carabao Cup titles on Sky.
Unless TNT's got it, Billy.
Possible.
Yeah. I don't know. Call Me Swift says, if we got Maguire on loan and then he went back to Man United and told them all our defensive tactics, I wouldn't want anyone from Man United on loan. That's a very good point.
Oh, that's so good. We're in that section, Premier League teams involved in Europe.
Yes. There is. I'm telling lies. Salford versus Leeds on the half seven.
It's on Sky, right? There you go. That's a tricky one for Leeds as well, who haven't exactly started the season very well in the Championship. Yeah. Barry the Beast says, wouldn't mind a right winger, but understand that we definitely need a centre-back option desperately. Toon Raider says, anyone else feeling down, losing that game? Botman injured, upset over the subs made in last game. Brighton next. Just feel like there is a shadow looming over us at the moment. That shadow will be dispersed on Saturday.
It will
All will become great. And by the way,
I'm just going before on the Carabao Cup stuff, Paul, before we disappear on it. Wrexham and probably Middlesbrough are maybe the two most interesting draws.
Middlesbrough? Interesting?
Well, I mean, it's a
have you seen their start of the season?
So
they're rock bottom. They've lost all the games, haven't they, so far this season, I believe, Borough?
Not far off it. They may have
Wrexham got a point.
They're the media darlings.
I think they've got a point, but that's all. By the way, big shout out to our former host, Jade, who got married to her long-term partner, Emily, today, Gretna Green. So absolutely fabulous. Seen the photos and fabulous news. So they're probably getting absolutely hammered right now. But congratulations, girls, and lifetime of happiness to you from everyone at the Toon Review. So have a great day. Brilliant news that was. Maguire wanted 200k a week. Apparently at West Ham. I mean, that was ridiculous. He's not anywhere.
He also wanted 15 million to leave from Manchester United.
Yeah. Geordie Toon for Life says, bad use of words, Alex. Lascelles is a fighter. I'll skip over that ongoing thing. It was disgusting what happened, actually. Really bad. Yeah, we'll not be talking about that. Call Me Swift says, I wouldn't trust Maguire to look after my chip butty, let alone my back line. Good point. David says, will Stato be doing some analysis on our new number 6, Mr. Hayden?
No. We actually did look at
what it is.
stats.
Yeah, we did. But I actually... Did we not do a...
We talked about him on
him,
Patreon, and I did pull up I pulled up the data from his last few years, which, fair enough, has been negatively influenced by Mr. Bruce, but even so, it wasn't great.
No. However, what I will say on Isaac Hayden is, look, he was a proper professional for us, and he's never, there was. Do you remember a few years back there was an inclination that he was unhappy, he wanted to go back down south. But then he agreed a new contract, and he played really well for the rest of that season. So, you know what? Hayden's not one that I look at and think, he's never been interested, because he's done his very best at this football club, as far as I'm concerned. And wherever he goes, we wish him well. I think he's been a fantastic professional for Newcastle United since he's been here. And, for young kids, and people like that, watching him work and never twisting on and just getting on with the job in hand. Brilliant. Guys, voting is still available for the Football Content Awards. So the link is still in the description right at the top. You can't miss it. If you want to help the Toon Review get through to the final stages again, like we did last year, please go and vote. Just click on the link. It'll take you to the voting site. But if you look in the description, it'll tell you the 3 categories to vote for the Toon Review. So even if you just keep voting, guys, please, let's get us there again. We want another night out, and with your help, we'll get there. And then the voting starts all over again to see who the winner is. But we need to get there first. So please, guys. I've just seen Predators in the house. Predators okay. Just kind of waiting on which surgery route they're going to do to remove the thing in my head, but doing okay. Keep well, Predator. Keep us informed, matey. Nice to see you on the stream. Foxy says Chelsea want £50 million for Chalobah. Bayern are interested. 50 million for Chalobah.
He's not a bad player.
He's a good player,
yeah. 50 million is a lot. That's Jesus.
Yeah, but I think it's for he profiles really, really well. And he's like 6'2.5", athletic, fits all the data's good, and then you factor in Chelsea, Premier League experience. You factor all of that into it. Yeah. It makes it just so much more inflated.
Yeah. Mansell says Leverkusen have the new Osimhen, a guy called Boniface, supposed to be a monster. Yeah, good player. Very, very good player. Paul Tully says, I can see us putting a great run together and winning more games. Got to be positive after the weekend, but we have so many positives to keep hold of. We've got a really good run of games, to be fair, after the international break, and very, very winnable games, if you can call them that, in the Premier League. But look, things do start looking up for us a little bit. NUFC Ollie says, I'm still waiting for this flat cap, Paul. Well, unfortunately, I forgot to bring it into the office again. So unless Susan runs around with it, you'll not see it. You might see it when we go away, because I'll be taking it with us. 50 Shades. What have I just done?
Nothing.
Well, I have, because my screen's just gone huge. I don't know what I've done.
That's fine.
All I can see is one comment. That's better. 50 Shades.
You zoomed in on a comment.
Left. Sorry?
You zoomed in on one comment.
I don't know how I did that. It's strange. Ian Skinner says, whenever I try and type his name, autocorrect insists on hairy mattress. Oh, dear God. Ben Nicholson says, has anyone seen the links to Gonçalo Ignacio? That might have been the link I saw, Is there more links?
I mean, we've reviewed him before on a transfer show. Before we got Botman, we've looked at him. So he's been around for ages. Are there fresh links, are there, from the last couple of days?
I think so, yeah. Possibly.
Yeah, we can throw them on the list.
Yeah. Tom says, hopefully Susan will get a footage of a monkey whipping Paul's blue cap away. Well, thanks very much, Tom. I believe I'm in a position to fire Tom as a mod, but, keep that up, mate. Mark says, apparently Fulham have offered to buy Matty Target, but how turn them down? Surely we don't need that many left backs.
I thought it was a loan.
I thought it was a loan, but then a couple of stories have said, wanting to buy. But
it was Forest.
It's Manquillo that confuses me, guys, if I'm openly honest. It's Manquillo. There is La Liga teams interested in him. But again, Eddie says he wants to keep him.
I'm Kraft, to be fair. As much as we like Kraft for his comeback, I mean, he was meant to be fit in May. We're now in August.
Yeah.
Where is he? We're nearly in September. Where is Emil Kraft? We
again,
need a
I saw-
hashtag.
Hence
Hashtag
why a
where
few
is
weeks
Emil?
at Botman is scary.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
Billy, because they said in the summer that Kraft will be a few weeks away. That was the exact words about Emil Kraft in the summer. And it's not just a few weeks now, it's a few months have passed and he's still nowhere near fitness. So, wow. I mean,
The
you have
Tranmere
to
game
just
was
sort
when?
of...
I mean, we're about to do the next Carabao draw, and he's not back yet.
Yeah,
That's how bad that injury was.
absolutely. Yeah, it's a huge, when they say a few weeks. Norvik, good afternoon to you. Good evening, sorry. Great to meet Norvik on Sunday. Had a good chat with Norvik before the game and afterwards. Great to meet him. Would not want any ex-Man United players just because there is no such thing as an ex-Man United player. That's a very good point, actually. Once they're there.
I mean,
You say that about a lot of clubs, I guess.
Michael Owen is
Michael,
a little rat. He
Yes.
doesn't. He prefers Liverpool.
That's very true. Michael Burr says, just imagine if Cher gets injured again, going into the Champions League with Lascelles and Byrne in the group of death.
Could happen.
The Bernabeu with Lascelles and Byrne. That'll be bloody interesting.
Shieldsy
It
says,
is against Hosselu, though. Lascelles might know how to defend against him.
Well, that's very true. Yeah. But Hosselu will probably... No, let's not go there. Worried about our lack of strength up top, says Shieldsy. If Wilson gets injured, it leaves us quite short. Don't really want Gordon playing there if possible. Mr. Reaction says, so run to the fridge, got no beer, literally legged it to the shop for a bottle. Well, good to see you back. We have a new member, Rod B. Welcome, Rod, to Members Club. Thank you very much for your support of the channel. And welcome to the family, my man. It's Emily Norvik. It's Emily, not Emma, unless she's married somebody completely different, but I don't think she has. But thank you very much. I'm sure she'll appreciate that. Congratulations, says Mark. Captain Fish says, can't we loan someone? Anyone? Tap Soda.
It won't be a multi-million-pound striker that centre-half that clubs would want to loan out. So, if you're loaning someone, it's generally going to be someone old or someone very young who can't get in their own team.
Why would they loan Taps over to us?
Yeah, just not going to happen. Kenny says, did you get your shirt yet? I cancelled my order. No, and if I haven't got it by the time I come back on Friday, I'll be cancelling it, mate, to be honest. It's just a ridiculous situation now. Akka says, there's no shadow hanging over us. Our fan base need a dose of realism.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Like, that comment as well, but Bath North East is just, but we are screwed if we don't get players in. Mate, we've made like 5 signings. Like,
we do need a centre half, though, Alex.
I think people are worried about centre half more.
Well, yeah, but are we screwed? No. Is it potentially going to be not great? Well, yeah, but again, if it depends on the Botman injury, doesn't it? But
Alex, I think you said it before. If Botman or Cher goes down for long term, I think we are screwed if we don't bring a defender in. I wouldn't want to go.
What's screwed? What are we classing as screwed?
Well, because I don't think Dan Byrne or Jamal Lascelles is good enough to go through a full season or months at a time as our centre backs. We will be a liability.
Silver lining, we get to mark Nick Pope with more assurance every week. Got a lot more to do.
I mean, we've got young Murphy, but is he really gonna chuck young Murphy in? I don't think he is. Another new member, Jan. Welcome to Members Club. I'm not sure if that's a renewal, but thank you, Jan, for your support of the channel. Really do appreciate that. 12th man Toon, who's been a member for 5 months, says, evening everyone, not been around much, but been re-watching the streams. Do we have any more thoughts on the match after we've had time to simmer down? Well, no, the quicker we forget about the match, probably the better, to be honest. We're moving forward now, not backwards. Tom says, when Isaac Hayden does leave, it's with our best wishes and respect. He's been a warrior for us, never kicked off like a twisty, diminutive Scotsman. I wonder who he's talking about there.
Any Scotsman.
It looks like Cucurella's off to Man United, by the way.
Strange, isn't it?
I've literally sent that to all of my Man United friends just with laughing emojis. I can't believe it. They're going to have Lindelof, Maguire, Cucurella. Like, I think Cucurella is okay, but he can be a little bit error prone, and he needs to be in the right defense. Yeah,
as a wing back.
Yeah, he's got stamina. He needs to be he needs to be sort of a wing back. But I feel like every team has only got the tolerance for one of those. You can only have one player who's maybe a little bit error prone, and he needs to have a settled defense. Man United are just buying all of them. They're taking all of the error prone players, and it's just It's not going to work.
I heard a
think
good.
Martinez has been shaky.
I heard a
recent
good
weeks.
point. I think it was actually Adrian Durham on Talk Sport, and I like Adrian Durham. I think he's one of the good ones who talks a lot of sense. And I was actually talking about Ten Hag and saying, who has he actually improved player-wise since he's gone into the club? Can you think of anybody?
No, nobody.
Well, how many times have we said, how lucky they were last year? Every game I saw, they were second best in virtually everyone I saw.
Exactly.
It's been the same this season.
Yeah.
Just to set expectations as well. Being this is a transfer show, can I just point this out for a few people? He went to Man City for 100 million.
Yeah, he did.
So people do need to have realistic expectations.
Yeah.
Guardiola is an incredible player, which is why he went to Man City for 100-odd million. We're not going to get that kind of player.
He played against us last week.
He did play against us literally last week as well, yeah.
Ryan says, can we review Mbappe because I linked him to the club yesterday? Nice try, mate. Nice try. Peter says, just a bit of perspective. If the first 3 games against these teams would have been draws, somebody mentioned that before, actually. Harrison Ashby got his first senior goal for Swansea. Brilliant news for him. Welcome, Typhoon. We don't have to panic. We won the same Villa game at home, lost the same games away at City and home to Liverpool. All is fine, and we played better last season. Than last season, sorry. Call Me Swift says, I'm clamoring for Joe Willock to come back. I think we're missing his attacking threat from the midfield. Yeah, we said that last night. Ben Setter says, Paul's wearing that top because he's in the know and Wirtz is flying over right now. I wish I could say he was. I wish I could say, but he's sadly not. Who's the first player up, Alex?
I think we might as well go for Tapsoba, to be honest. Let's just get him on screen, shall we?
Hang on, did you not just completely rule him out?
Yeah, but everybody's talking about him and he is an option. So if I'm ruling him out as a loan, I think a loan is absolutely nonsense. We're never going to get him on loan. You'll have to bear with me while I set this up because I normally don't do it in this order. It's going to be all squashed for a minute. Right, so Tapsoba, yeah, for people saying that we, as a loan option, I don't see how. I don't see how we get this kid on loan. For context, I mean, I feel like we need to show you this because context-wise, right, let's get him next to Tapsoba. Let's go for Leverkusen. So their last game was a 3-0 victory. So this is their current squad, and they are doing very, very well with it. So Hoffman's come in and replaced Diaby. They've got this Boniface, the Nigerian guy that people are comparing to Osimhen. Yeah, Florian Wirtz is incredible. Palacios and Xhaka are amazing in midfield. Jonathan Tah, they've got Tapsoba, Kosanu are there, and Grimaldo on the left they got from Benfica. This is a team trying to title push. Their recent fixtures, they beat Bayern recently as well. Look at this. They beat Leipzig, they beat West Ham, they beat Marseille, they stuffed Gladbach. They're just walking over anybody in their path. They're really, really good this year. So, and this guy is key to that. He's a really, really good centre half. He's over 6'2". He's athletic. He's still young. His wages are decent. He's contracted till 2026. There's no reason for him to leave Leverkusen right now. This is a chance. He's still young enough to get a move to somewhere else and still live out a really nice sort of stint at Bayer Leverkusen. He could stay there for another year, 2, 3 years, and then move to somewhere else. He's a centre half. Mm-hmm. And then if we go and see the data as well, I mean, it's good. It is really, really good. In terms of progressive passes, progressive carries, he is a centre-half which can do all of the ball progression. He's in at least the top 7% for any form of ball progression, whether it's carries or passes. Successful take-ons for a centre-half as well. It's only 0.72 per 90, but if he steps into midfield, he beats his man every single time. It's ridiculous. He's so good at it. And then his passes attempted, his completion rate's okay. And you've got to remember as well, an 86.4% completion rate for someone who tries all of the ball progression. So he's trying nearly 6 progressive passes per 90, and his accuracy is still that high. I think that's really impressive. There are centre halves tasked with just playing sideways who have a worse percentage than that. This guy doesn't play sideways. He plays all the forward passes and still has the guy's amazing. And then his shot creating actions are most likely off the back of all the ball progression anyway. Defensive metrics are really, really healthy. Again, he's playing in the back three. Bayern are quite dominant. Bayer Leverkusen, sorry, not Bayern. And we can see the nice little graphic here. And we can, because we've done it before. Who should we look at? Should we look at Fabian Schär or Botman? Who do you want to do?
Probably Botman.
Should we do Botman? So this is Tapsoba versus Botman. So you can see Tapsoba's like ball progression here. So pass completion is about the same. Botman just edges him on pass completion percentage. But then passes attempted, shot creating actions, ball progression, successful take-ons. He is a freak. He is a freak. And I don't really care, like, non-penalty XG and shots totals. Yeah, it's all well and good Botman having this data. But if we're going to play the narrative about Maxi, we're going to play the narrative about Botman. It's all well and good him being in the box all the time, but he hasn't scored yet. So this is useless data. He's getting in the right places, but he's never scoring. So it's kind of pointless. Yeah, Tapsoba's a freak. For people saying, let's just get him on loan, Bayer Leverkusen are just going to tell us to get stuff. No way. They're going to try and challenge for the title this year, in my opinion. The kid is very, very good. Come from Vitória in Portugal. He's been at Leverkusen for quite a long time now. 32 starts last season. He was a mainstay last year. He's got good experience. 6th place last year. I do fully expect them to really, really push hard for a challenge this season because the kid is really, really good. Have we got a transfer marked for him? Let's have a look. So I don't know what kind of transfer values are being floated around. Here he is.
And
Burkina
his first
Faso.
name's Edmund.
Mate, I love his place of birth as well. Ouagadougou.
Ouagadougou.
Brilliant. I think he's great. I love him.
Capital of Burkina Faso.
Is it?
Ouagadougou.
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 So value, I feel like, is a little bit underrated. I feel like he might be more expensive than this. Yeah.
3 years left on his contract as well.
Foxy's just echoed my comments as well. Leverkusen shouldn't sell anyone this window. They will be Bayern's biggest threat for the title. I completely agree. If they get this right,
I think Borussia will be there again. I think there's going to be 3 or 4 teams in the Bundesliga this year, which makes it a lot more interesting.
They've really struggled so far. Again, their main creator is Julian Brandt, and they've been shut down. They're struggling to break down low blocks. Dortmund look like we did last year. They've got 1 or 2 obvious attacking threats, and if they get negated, they can't score. You know, who's FMA Sports?
I've just seen a comment from Ryan. Have you ever seen a Macam in Ouagadougou or whatever it's called? Ouagadougou?
Get rid of that
silly
advert. Go away. I can't get rid of the advert. Damn it. Right. So it's a very small agency list. Where are they from? It doesn't even say. Where are they registered? They've got 7 players on their books, and it's these 7. Interesting.
Well, I think Tapsoba one day will make them quite a bit of money when he does eventually move on, if that be next season, the season after. But there's no way Bayer Leverkusen letting him go this season. Not a Scooby-Doo.
Oh, being as we're kind of talking about football, bad segue, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. I've committed now. People who are winning the Champions League final qualification tonight. Galatasaray won their playoff. So they're going to be in. So when we were looking at the clubs that hadn't yet secured their place in the group stage, the Galatasaray are going to be in. Young Boys play tonight at 8 o'clock.
Oh God!
So we don't know if but they're obviously going to be in the pot 4.
Are they at the? Is that at the Wankdorf, Alex?
Possibly, yeah. And who was the middle fixture? Oh, I can't remember. I think it was
PSV.
That was tomorrow. Billy.
No, it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I think Braga won their playoff. So it's Galatasaray, Braga, and then another one. It's useful to know because we might have to eventually play these depending on what we do in the group stage. So it's
Galatasaray. They haven't kicked off yet, Alex. They don't kick off till 8 o'clock.
I thought they'd already played. I thought it was
no. They played the first leg. Galatasaray are 3-2 up from the first leg against Molde.
Okay.
Braga are 2-1 up against Panathinaikos, but that's the second leg's at Panathinaikos tonight. And Young Boys against Maccabi Haifa. Yeah, it's Young Boys at home at the Wankdorf Stadium against Maccabi Haifa. That is currently 0-0. So I I think Galatasaray will go through, though. They're at home and they're 3-2 up from the first leg. Mulder, I don't think are going to be good enough to beat them, to be honest. Juan Lyon asks a question for you, Stato. I think we need a right winger. What about loaning Nicolas Pepe?
I mean, when they first signed him from, was it Lille? I think he'd scored 14 goals, 7 of which were penalties. His XG, his non-penalty XG wasn't great. He was okay. They signed an okay winger for 70-odd million and then piled expectation on him. I don't think he's better than Miggy. So if a lot of people are unhappy with Miggy, then at the moment, I think Jacob Murphy is... I mean, Ryan's just said he's better than Jacob Murphy. What evidence have you got to support that, Ryan? He's not played proper football for years. Jacob Murphy's been really good for about 12 to 18 months now. He's been putting in some tidy performances. Ever since Tranmere away, when he was absolutely abysmal, Murphy's been average to above average for 12 months. I think Murphy's decent. He's a solid backup option. He knows he's a backup option. He's okay with that. He understands his role and he puts in a shift, and he's not actually that bad technically either. He listens to his instructions well. He scores a few goals. I think Murphy right now is better than Pepe.
By the way, I wasn't going to read this out, but I'm going to. It's been deleted, but somebody called Danny2378 says, no way the Toon Review is getting my vote. I can't stand Paul, and I can't stand the begging channel.
Yeah, well, I deleted and blocked that for a reason.
So you did it, did you? Oh, there you go. Well, you know...
Go and vote for Adam Pearson then if you want to, because he's a lovely bloke. We're happy for you to vote for people
why are you
enjoy.
watching us then if you can't stand us? Bugger off. Do you think I care? Not a jot. But thank you anyway for viewing for part of it. You know, but you're probably still viewing now. Big man behind his keyboard. Foxy says, well, that's what you mentioned before, Alex, about, you know, they're not going to be getting rid of anybody. Just on that, guys, if you have just joined us, please do vote for us in the Football Content Awards 2023. You know, unlike Danny, who doesn't like me and doesn't like us begging, but we're going to beg for votes because that's what we do.
Oh, Danny, you're such a fanny.
Yeah.
Literally
So please
everybody asks for a vote.
The link is right at the top of the description. Please go and vote for your favorite channel. If you don't like us, then please go and vote for, as Jack's just Jack's in there actually for Young One. And of course, Annie's in there, the Bristol City fan, Annie, who comes on the channel. Vote for him for Young Content Creator. But there's Adam Pearson there. So please go and vote for who you want. But the link is at the top of the description, alongside the 3 categories that you can vote for the Toon Review. Put us in all 3. But thank you very much. And thanks, Danny, for bringing that up, because it just gave me a reminder to remind everyone else of almost 1,000 people watching. So kiss my ass. Right. We've had a $4.99 super chat from 12th Man Toon. There's no chance I'm voting for the Toon Review after witnessing Paul in his cap. It ruined my year. Thank you. You haven't seen me flat one yet. One Lion says Newcastle should check out the centre-backs at Red Bull Salzburg in Austria.
I mean, we were linked with him, weren't we? I can't remember his name now. I've forgotten it. We were linked. Is it Soleil? Soleil. Yeah, we were linked with the young centre-half. Although those links have kind of gone quiet, there's not a lot of data on him either. So we'll revisit the link if it comes back around.
Absolutely, we will. Absolutely. I Like Coffee says Murfinho is awesome. Yes, he is. And I have a feeling he might play a part in the game. Jan says Galatasaray is a bad team to go to for supporters. They are mad. I've been there. Yeah, I've seen a few teams get quite a big welcome to Galatasaray in the past.
They did kick out Eric Cantona, though. So that's one good thing for them.
Yes. I Like Coffee says, I like how he came to the Toon Review chat to mention that he's not voting. Just seems to want the attention. Yes. Big man behind keyboards. Matty says, Danny is such a fanny, as does Stiff. Sean says you're living in his head, mate. Julie says she's voted for the Toon Review and Jack. Well done. Bar says I only watch TTR, Adam P and Rob related on YouTube. Thanks, mate. Stiff Gator says Danny had a one-night stand with a ranny granny. I'm sure Rani will have something to do with that, something to say about that. Danny would be at home in the Talk Sport chat, says Julie J. Alec Coffey says, I voted and told my family to vote too. Thank you very much. Kenneth says, what a horrible thing to say. He's a clown. This is a great channel. I get it every day, Kenneth, to be honest. Every single day I get the arseholes, and it's never going to change. But for every arsehole, there's about 25 fantastic people who watch the channel. So, you just got to let it go.
For anybody who
now.
can't see the link as well, it's in the description.
Yes, it is. I hope it is.
We should be, yeah.
Have I just been telling everyone pork pies?
I mean, it's what you told us the other day, and I'm just going with that. I think it's true.
Funny enough, it's not in the description. I have forgot to put it in there. It will be at the end of the show.
We'll put it back in.
Yeah. Oh, God almighty. I forgot all about it, to be honest. I thought it was...
Or if you go and follow the Toon Review on Twitter...
No, I'll put it in there now. I'll put it in there now. If you can just... will I be able to put it in there now? I'm not too sure. I'll try.
Put the screen share on and I'll walk through something really interesting.
I'll tell you where I'll put it. I'll pin it in the chat, man. What am I talking about? I can pin it in the chat. If you just bear with me 1 second. Alex, who's the next player? You can get on with that while I sort that out.
I got Jacob Murphy up just because it's funny, because I want to see how much he's improved, because we haven't looked. There are certain players that we haven't looked at their data for ages. I don't think we've looked at Murphy, not live together, for ages. So I thought I'd just show you. Murphy's quite good now. Like, this is way different to his old data. It's hilarious. Progressive carries, super high. His ball progression through passing's good. Obviously, we saw a bunch of really nice passes in pre-season from him as well. And at Villa. He's got technical ability. He's not bad. His non-penalty XG is really high. He got 4 goals, 2 assists last year. I know he's our own player. So before I get shouted out for viewing our own player, I just think it's cool to have a look at how far he's come. Look at his similar players. You've got Sancho, Adeyemi, Sterling, Martinelli, Saka. Like, wow. The comparisons to Jacob Murphy 18 months ago were woeful. Now look what the lad's pulling out data-wise, and he deserves it because he's put in so much hard graft, and he's been everywhere as well. Look at that, everywhere. He's even been to Coventry.
Right, can I just say, Susan's just put the link in the chat. I've also pinned it to the top of the chat as well. So the vote there for the Football Content Awards is there now. So please go and annoy the living crap out of Danny, please, and go and vote for us in the Football Content Awards by hitting the link right at the top of the live comments. Thank you so much, guys. You're very much appreciated. Antonio Silva, again, another one, Alex, who, is going to cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to that nitty-gritty part of the window now, where obviously earlier on we were able to view 5 new players every night. There were so many links. It was so interesting and exciting. Right now, it's getting down to the wire. We know it's a centre-half, generally. There's some floating rumours of a winger, a right-sided winger as well. However, centre-half is more likely. So we're going to review the most strongly linked ones. English. Although he's not English, he's Portuguese. So we reviewed him. We reviewed him recently.
Sporting Lisbon, Benfica, Porto.
Oh, I love it when Alex screws up. It's a monumental experience. He gives me so much grief. I love it.
Anyway, we have done a deep dive on Antonio Silva literally 3-4 days ago. We did it very recently.
Yeah, we did.
So for people who obviously watch the shows regularly, you will know a little bit about him. For anybody new in tonight, Antonio Silva, very, very good, promising young centre-half. I think I went as far as to state I think he's good enough to play for Manchester City the other day, which is massively putting him on a pedestal. But I feel like that was a fair comment. I feel like he's good enough, even if he's 19, nearly 20. Could do probably another season of progression, but he's definitely got it. So he's over 6'1", Benfica, right-footed centre-half. And if we scroll down and have a look at the data, let's get rid of the adverts. Please bear in mind, so players compared to positional peers in men's next 8 competitions. So this is not the big 5 leagues in Europe. These are leagues such as the Mexican top flight, the Portuguese top flight, the Belgian top flight, the MLS, the Championship. So it compares sort of tier 2 divisions, which I guess is a bit insulting because but it is still. However, 91.6% passing accuracy. You don't need to look at the percentile to know that that's high. The passes are through the roof and the next roof above that because it's just bonkers. Ball progression again is elite. He's 19. He's 19.
It's frightening, isn't it?
It's mental. Like he's putting up equally as good data in terms of ball progression and passes as Tapsoba was, who's playing in the Bundesliga and he's 5 years older than this guy. Like the numbers are frighteningly good. I understand it's in Portugal. However, you can only pass to who's there, and he can only play the football that he's allowed to play in his own division. He's still putting up outrageous numbers. The tackle metric is through the roof. The aerial duels won is a little lower. I swear that's gone down since we last looked. However, you could argue that this is something he could improve in his game. Again, he's 6'1.5". I feel like he could improve a little bit physically. It's not amazing. So again, I don't know if he'd get into our sort of system, which I guess is a massive flattery to us. But yeah, I think he's got all the right ingredients. I think he will go to a top team. I think he will leave Benfica. I don't think he will leave this season at all. Maybe next summer. I think he'll get another full year. And it's going to be another player that gets bought out of Benfica by at least 40, 45 million pounds at an absolute minimum. I think he'll go to a big team. Although a lot of big teams obviously spent big on centre-half recently, but they never seem to run out of money. So we don't really know too many people from here. So we'll scroll down and have a look at Club Today, which is, again, not much. 30 starts. I mean, I didn't really... We didn't look at this last time.
For an 18-year-old.
We didn't look at this last time, and I feel like maybe that was an oversight on my part. Yeah. They won the Portuguese league, and he made 30 starts as an 18-year-old. That's kind of what Botman did in a different kind of way. Botman was 21 when they won Ligue 1 with Lille. Did okay in the Champions League as well. So this is possibly as good of an achievement, I would argue. An 18-year-old managing to win Ligue 1. The Primeira Liga in Portugal. I know they don't have a PSG in their league, but even so. And he chipped in with 3 goals as well. So really, really decent stuff. The issue is transfer marked. So let's get rid of Tapsoba and let's go to, what's his name? Antonio Silva. Here he is. So 45.
There's no way. I mean,
generally,
you can add 30 odd onto that at least.
Well, I don't know where it's gone here. No, go away. Yeah, typically, this is normally an undervaluation on transfer marked. I'd be surprised. I think if somebody bid 45 right now, they'd decline it instantly. That's just my opinion. I think they would, because again, his contract there as well, 2027. That they want to make money, they want to recycle and follow their format. If you bid 45, they say go fish. It's very simple.
I think he's got a £100 million release clause as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, we ain't triggering that.
No.
As you can see on the other side as well, 4 caps for Portugal. So you can't see it because of the adverts. Let me scroll down, but go away, Henri. Sorry, mate, you're not Portuguese. So there we go. National team appearances. He's been involved all the way through from the under-16 level, with 4 appearances for the senior team. So, I mean, he's going places. But again, we've just looked at. I know we're supposed to be looking at maybe more realistic targets. But I mean, these are 2 players we've been linked with, so we're looking at them. A lot of
people are saying Inacio in the comments, Alex. So I don't know whether anything's happened on social media about him, but I think he's definitely been linked, but I don't know how heavily today.
Oh God, he's had a good season, hasn't he? Bloody hell! Yeah, well, we'll have a look at him in a minute. We won't get overexcited yet.
Yeah. Niall says, Stato, can you bring up Thomas Araujo? As well, Arrojo, as well as rumours going around about him on loan. Interesting. Vincent says Inacio has a £51 million release clause. Davey T says, had some bad news today. Felt crap. Big thank you to the chat, especially Irani, for putting a smile on my face. Davey, you know where everybody is, mate. Keep your head up. and we're with you all the way, buddy. So stick with us, and hopefully we'll put a smile on your face. And when you've got characters like Irani and everyone else in the chat, you'll definitely get a laugh. And of course, Billy's crazy dirty wit as well. Kevin says, just voted. Paul, Billy, Alex, keep up the good work. And Danny who? Danny boy. Peter's voted. Thank you very much. Stiff Gator says 2027 contract. Benfica ain't going to budge. Well, I mean, they'll budge if somebody pays the £100 million release clause, Billy.
They will, but it won't be us doing it, unfortunately.
No. Darth Billy there with his prediction on Antonio Silva.
We've got it. We just can't spend it.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's the... Unless the Adidas money pays up front, Billy. You never know. I mean, that's supposedly gets released on Friday, doesn't it? So we'll see what's going on there. Tony says, great show, Paul and the gang. I thought that's a cool in the gang for a second there. I thought, well, thank you. Sean says, I like Silva. I think he's going to be one of the world's best in the next couple of years. I think he's up there already, judging by his stats, Billy.
Yeah, he's 19 years of age. It's phenomenal kind of future in the game, hasn't he? Been 19 and already putting them sort of stats forward. Wanted by lots of clubs around Europe, I imagine. Yeah. And a hefty kind of release clause to boot. So, when he's 25, 26, what we're going to be looking at then? Lord knows.
Brian says, my heart goes out to Jamal and his brother. Disgusting, just wanted to say that. Yeah, we echo with those thoughts, Brian, definitely. Barth says, I voted for Daisy, so she gets a night out. By the way, I think now is a good time to do this. Susan made this up. Let's see what you think of this. And it's basically, those of you that are new to the channel, Daisy is our mascot. Okay, she's the channel mascot. But we have a Champions League themed Daisy with her friends. So enjoy this for the next minute or so, guys. It gets you going. That music gets you going. Nobody can tell me that does not get the blood flowing. Susan, that was absolutely superb. It just gets you ready, Billy, doesn't it, for that draw? You just can't wait.
She's come a long way since my beef bayonet, hasn't she? Sorry, my beef, I should say.
Yeah, just a bit.
Fair play. That's fantastic. Bit of work. Really good, yeah. Susan. Fantastic.
I think it's going to be very emotional for me being in that ground. Standing there for the Champions League theme. I mean, it's just, even for you guys, commentating on it, watching
it's going to be emotional at home. It's going to be emotional anywhere. It's going to be
I was watching that, for fuck's sake.
Exactly. I mean, it's just incredible. And that's where we are now,
20 years of watching Tom Cleverley and players of that caliber walking out to the sodding Champions League theme. Finally.
Yeah,
finally.
Exactly. Matty says that's pure art. Best visual artwork I've ever seen. Thanks, Matty. Superb. Susan says, Davey. I like coffee. Says, I love the Champions League music. Very cleverly done. Ian says, love it. Well done. Highbrow Daisy. Keith says, canny intro. Like looks like the tune on a Saturday night. Laughing my ass off. Susan is a star, and Daisy, of course. Typhoon says, we move. Indeed we do. 12th man Toon, thank you for your $4.99 super chat. He says, that's all the motivation I need. I'm off for a 20-mile run, lads. Cheers. It brings a tear to the eye. It does get you going, doesn't it? It really does. When you hear that music, it's just incredible. And of course, having Daisy in there, we had to put Daisy in, didn't we? You know what I mean? We just had to. Right, who's the next player, Alex?
We've got Inacio up because
there he goes. Yeah.
So a few people make a point of he's extended his contract. Doesn't mean he won't move. Why do I keep saying Chris Hall? Why am I saying Chris Hall? Lewis Hall.
Have you been watching Loaded by any chance, Alex?
It must be. It must be Chris from Loaded.
Has Chris been selling you a bit of Avon? Is that what it is? Your moisturising cream. Billy, his secret's out. That's where he gets his products from. Good evening, Chris, if you're watching. Nice one. His secret's out.
Yeah. Lewis Hall extended his contract by loads, and then we got him. So It doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to move. So 6'1", funnily enough, the only player on this website who isn't 6'1.5 inches. He seems to be actually on the dot for a change. However, left-sided centre half. So I'm not quite.
That's
I don't know. Left-sided, left-footed centre half. So this kind of poo-poos this link for me. I feel like it's going to be a right-sided athletic centre half. So data-wise, this season is a little bit crazy. He's rather good. Again, a little bit older, 22 years old than Antonio Silva was, but still, pass completion rate is up near the 90%. Progressive passes, nearly 9 progressive passes. He's a defender. That's madness. Absolute madness. You know, I know we've got Trippier, but if we can get multiple defenders who are putting up that kind of ball progression, it's frightening. It's absolutely frightening. You know, and this references people saying that we're not very good at breaking down a low block. Oh, we are. We broke Liverpool's block down many times. We just couldn't be clinical. There's a difference. We actually did. We had the key. We opened the door, and we couldn't even fall through the door. We were just that bad at finishing. It was a case of, you know, and this is why, because we bought players of this nature who are really good at ball progression. Botman's obviously improved it. This guy is at that level as well. His take-ons, he can step into midfield, he can carry the ball forward, he can pass the ball forward, he can pass it carefully. Look at the amount of passes this guy's attempted per 90, by the way. Look at the passes attempted. 90.
Christ.
90 passes. That's madness. That's absolute madness. As I mentioned on the previous transfer show, I remember the days where Lascelles and our centre halves were sort of doing 30 to 35 passes. This guy's doing 90. Absolute madness.
That's filth.
Tackles and interceptions, and he's doing it with a very high completion rate as well. Tackles and interceptions are really, really healthy, well above average. Aerial win rate, yeah. I feel like this is a big thing. This is one that might kill moves potentially, because I feel like our centre halves need to be domineering, physical beasts. Like, we're building a team of absolute powerhouse athletes. It seems like, anyway, in my opinion. And I don't know with the aerial dual win rate.
I'll ask you guys, but Billy, I'll ask you first. Can two left-footed centre backs play together? Is it a major problem?
I don't think so. Botman played on the right side one or two of the previous friendlies, and he looked pretty accomplished there. I don't see it as that much of a problem. It's obviously not ideal, but you know, you can get around it away.
But listen, if these guys are Champions League caliber players, like for instance, Inacio is, they can adjust to playing on the right side of a centre back partnership. Surely, I wouldn't see a particular problem.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Here's his aerial. I mean, whichever way you spin it, it's average to below average. Whether it's areas won, areas lost, or percentage.
That's
of
a bit of a
areas won.
concern, actually. That's not that great, is it?
No, it's not.
For somebody who's 6'1", and I can imagine a lot of the. I mean, right, this is an assumption because I don't know, but I'm assuming that not all Portuguese forwards in that division are all giant beasts like from the National League. Yeah. I'd imagine a lot of them are quite slight. So I feel like this win rate's quite low. I don't know. I've not had a super deep dive. I can't say I've watched Sporting. I haven't watched Sporting since last year, so I'm not sure. But
a little bit of a worry that actually the I mean, you know,
yeah, but he's elite in everything else. So
well, he is.
It's a case of can he improve? But again, at 22 with 6'1", why is it there? You know, you're playing for a very good team in Portugal. Why is it only that? A little bit interesting. I'll have to do some more digging to find out why that is. But again, it depends if we actually go and sign him or not. Probably not.
Good point. A good point. Davey T says 90 passes. That's what a Macam would get on Mastermind. Tony Ross wants to know, are you getting a Champions League pipe, Billy?
No.
Foxy says Inacio and Silva already look special. Portugal have a habit of producing gems. They'll cost an absolute fortune, no doubt. Yeah. But, you know. Look, that's the kind of caliber player we need to be looking at, to be honest. But there you go, guys. That is the transfer show done and dusted for the summer of 2023. Just before we go, I'm just going to give you a little reminder again to please go and vote for us and piss Danny off even more. Please vote for us in the Football Content Awards. The link is pinned at the top. Let's see if we can get to the final. And of course, thank you very much to everybody for watching. Thank you for your super chats and new memberships. Mod Squad, you've been superb as usual. Thank you to Billy and Alex. But the big thank goes to you guys out there. You've been awesome. There's no show tomorrow. We're all having a rest. I'm on a long drive. These two need to put their feet up for a night. Don't forget, Thursday night, Alex and Billy will be doing a double header, all in the one show. They'll be doing the Champions League draw. Can't believe we're saying that, but it's still very strange coming out of my mouth. That the Champions League draw, followed by the preview for the Brighton game, all in the one show. So give your support to Billy and Alex on Thursday night for that. They're putting in an extra shift for you guys. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. And then 6 o'clock start on Friday night is the Deadline Day show. We will take you all the way up from 6 o'clock to 11 when it closes or just after. And we'll talk about all the big transfers, not just at Newcastle, but anything that happens on Deadline Day. We'll bring it right to you on the Toon Review on Friday night. Saturday, we've got, of course, the watch along. That's a 5:30 kickoff, so it'll be me and Billy on Saturday for that one. So we will start at 5 p.m. So join us for the whole build-up and everything like that, team news, etc., followed by play-by-play commentary of the full 90 minutes. And then on Sunday night, we will have the match review for you. So we will be talking about the match on Sunday night as well. So lots to look forward to on the Toon Review, guys. Please do give it the thumbs up if you've enjoyed tonight's show. Don't forget before you leave, keep us up there in the algorithms. If you are new and you've enjoyed the show, please hit the subscribe button, free to do so, and also that notification bell so you don't miss any live shows or videos getting uploaded. And you can join as a member of the Toon Review if you hit that join button just underneath the 3 of our mugs. But thank you very much, as usual, to everyone that's watched. I am off to get licked by a camel, a giraffe. I've had a Castori. Well, maybe it's even a camel will come and lick me face this time. You just never know. So many animals to drive past with my window open. We'll see which one dares to lick me face this time. But thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you very, very soon. Good night.
How are the lads and lasses?